We hope you brought the aloe and sunscreen.
Bullshit.
Because these takes are scorching hot. Now, get ready for some raw,
You went raw?
gritty, and unfiltered takes from the old man, Don himself.
She can't say the truth because it does make her look like an idiot. Because that's what she is.
These are Pop's Takes, right here on BB Nation Radio.
Bullshit.
And, well, there's some audio now, but it's not the right audio. All right, let's try this again, because apparently somehow, some way, the I mean, you all still look cool. We can't just hear you. I don't know. Hopefully you guys can hear us now. So apparently there's something going on. I'm going to have to check the board out, because for some reason now the program is not reading the board in regards to audio. So, yeah, Tyson's like, hey, now I hear y'all. So, all right. Great. So you've had all this tangent for all this time. Nobody heard a damn thing. Oh, no.
How long has it been?
Well, consider the fact we're 15 minutes into the program.
The whole thing? The whole program?
Oh, my goodness. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? Oh, Richie's going, I can't comment now, as he's messaging me. Oh, my goodness. This is great. This is great. I apologize, guys. I don't know why it's acting up. I really don't. Apparently, the internet gods do not like hearing what we have to say.
Well, they're definitely not going to like the next one.
Yeah, right? So, anyhow, so bring everybody up to speed. Since we have this working now, that would explain why a lot of people were coming in and going right back out, is because we had no audio for some reason. I don't know why. Oh. Anyhow, so to bring people up to speed, so what happened earlier, first topic, apparently we have the regular national anthem, and now we have certain sports organizations, i.e. the woke NFL, that decided that they're going to start playing the quote-unquote black national anthem as well as the regular national anthem.
But they don't have a nation.
But last I checked, this is an American nation. They're an American organization. You should just play the regular national anthem. Last I checked.
Well, that's cutting it down pretty thin from what I said. But
yeah, well, I'm trying to break it down a touch. But yeah, I mean, that's the gist of it. So there's no reason for them to go ahead and be doing that stuff.
No.
So, either play national anthem or don't try go this extra crap that you're trying to do. So, because next thing you know, everybody's going to want to have their own version of it, and it just completely defeats the purpose.
Well, do the Asians have one
of a national anthem?
Do the Asians have one?
For their countries.
But not for here. And guess what? The Asians for here, they may have Asian background, but they're not Asians, they're Americans now. Yeah,
exactly. And that's the big thing about it.
Yeah,
you're Americans now, act like it.
Yeah.
Seriously. And then, of course, then we've been talking about with the whole COVID count.
Yeah.
Yeah, the COVID numbers count. How folks have been talking about, how I call him Dr. freaking fake Fauci, because essentially, that's half the information that he puts out 99% of the time is garbage. Yeah.
Well,
I want the anthem of my tribe, please.
Cut it short, quick. The big thing we're talking about, and what I'm concerned about is, what can you believe when you have, I know personally, and Justin knows someone personally.
Yep.
Somebody was different, that they were tested at the end for COVID and all that all the way through, and they tested negative.
Right.
And on their death certificates, the doctors wrote down COVID.
Yep. And trying to get that money.
Now, I guess, I don't know, maybe for sure that's what they're trying to get, but they're getting something. I don't know whether they're forced into it or what. I really don't know. But I do know that it's not true. Now, I want to know the truth.
Yeah, we all do.
It could be worse. It could be better. I mean, and now as far as that booster shot going on, sure, we have to have a flu shot every year if you're going to, so it's not a big deal.
Well,
everybody's trying to make it a big deal.
Here's the thing about that. whether you get it, whether you don't get it, that is entirely up to you.
That's your
And that
decision.
is the problem that we have right now, particularly with these government organizations trying to say, well, you have to do it. Well, guess what? There's a little thing there in the Fourth Amendment that says secure in my persons. And it was put in there for a reason. There was actually a actual medical doctor of the times when they wrote out the Constitution and made sure that it was worded in such a way to where it would actually include your personal medical freedoms. And the Supreme Court has even affirmed this through several cases. So not only is it constitutional law, but it also falls under what they call case law. And that's the big thing that a lot of folks seem to forget. And that's the one thing a lot of these politicians seem to forget is that,
they don't forget it, they just ignore it.
Yeah, that too. Or they try to find workarounds. And that's exactly what they're trying to do at this point. And it's sad to say. It really is. And with all these mandates and stuff they're trying to do, they're taking away that choice. They really are. And that, in my firm belief, and I'm pretty sure yours as well, is wrong. I don't care if you get it or don't get it. That is your choice, whether or not you get the jab or not. Seriously. And I tell you what, if you sit there and belittle a person based on their choice just because it is different than yours, you are no better than what they are.
Exactly.
Just flat out. I got it. You got it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
That was my choice.
High Tech didn't get it.
Well,
Sexy Girlfriend hasn't gotten it.
That's up to
Matt
them.
hasn't gotten it. A few of our other people haven't gotten it. But you know what? It is not my place to tell them
I got the shots
whether or not they got it. Am I going to judge them for it? Absolutely not. Am I going to sit there and hey, you know what? Technically, I could. Being the primary station owner, I could tell them they're fired. And say, guess what? You haven't gotten the shot. Well, guess what? Sorry for your luck. You're fired. You're no longer working for this station. Backwoods Veterans doesn't want. Bullshit. I'm not going to do that.
Well, you better not.
No. Because it's discrimination.
That's what this whole station is about, as far as I know. And that is equal rights for all.
Exactly.
And you have some things that are personal decisions. Now, I've got the shots.
Yeah.
So if they don't want to get them, I'm not worried about it.
No.
That's their problem.
Yeah.
If they want to get it, that's fine too. But
absolutely.
No government official should be able to stand there and say, you are going to get a shot, or you are going to get this, or that.
Yep, exactly.
They don't have that right.
No, they don't. And why they keep pushing the issue is beyond me. Anyhow, we'll get off that tangent for now.
But that's why our thing says, by the people, for the people.
And of the people.
And of the people. Exactly. And don't you politicians forget it.
Well, that's the problem a lot of them have. So, speaking of forgetting where they come from.
Oh,
oh yes. The latest and greatest, hot off the press. We are still trying to get confirmation on this, but there is a scandal taking place in Washington. It has been reported through many different.
And it expanded even more today.
Oh, they expanded even more today.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know. So apparently there's a book that was written by a chief of staffer, I guess you could call them. And they're coming out with a book. And one of the things that they talked about was General Milley, who is the current chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, tried to make chummy under the table with the folks over in China. Yeah, in that place over there. And one of the things that was brought to light was the fact that he allegedly had an agreement with the Chinese government to where, particularly during the Trump administration, that if there was ever going to be a preemptive strike or some sort of military action of the sorts against China, he would give them a heads up if pretty much if he couldn't, quote unquote, keep 45 in check in regards to that. That sounds almost coup d'etat to me.
Well, there's a whole lot more that came out today without going into it a big time. It's bad enough, and there must be enough truth in it, that a lot of our senior officers in the Army especially are resigning their commissions and quitting and giving up. Some of them have 17, 18 years in.
Yeah.
And giving up their resigning. If he doesn't come out, if he doesn't resign himself, a whole bunch of officers are going to be resigning themselves. And that came out yesterday, today, and every time I turn around, I've got the news on, I hear more about somebody else has said the same thing. So
Yeah.
To me, if everything I hear is true, and I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying what I hear on the news and on your different national TV stations and all that.
Right.
And I know that they're pretty careful about what they say with that, because if they don't, they're all going to get sued or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if even an iota of all this is true, the man should be charged with treason and put up against the wall and shot.
Well, especially when you're aiding the enemy.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
People seem to forget there's a little thing called the UCMJ. And last I checked, death penalty, it's still a capital crime. It falls under both civilian law and UCMJ, and it's one of the few criminal acts you can commit that still warrants a death penalty. Shocker.
Well, if any of it is true, even the least little bit of it's true, there's got to be something there for all this to come out and keep building more and more.
Well, there always has to be some sort of truth to it.
More people that have associated with him over the years are coming out more and more. Once one starts, the rest of them, they're
just going to fall in line.
Keeping it to themselves. They're going to, well, I can't get caught in his mess, so I've got to tell him the truth. So, that's kind of what's happening, I think. So we'll just have to wait and see how it all burns out. But I'm telling you, when you have a chief of head guy at the chief of staff, right?
Right.
He's the head man, and if he gets away with this, we're in big trouble.
Oh yeah, I agree.
You got my 3 bitches tonight, okay? And they're pretty serious. In fact, I think all 3 of them are very serious.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I kind of wish we'd have been able to do this on Monday. We had a few.
Well, we were originally scheduled to, yeah, but
we had a few more of our people available. But pass the word, guys that are here and listening, or pass the word out to what we talked about tonight, and let everybody know that next week, if they have any questions or anything about it, they want to ask me, I'll be here.
There you go. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. So, yeah, guys, so that being said, Pops, your parting words of wisdom as we get ready to get out of here to wrap it up on a Wednesday night.
Keep it up, guys. Just keep your head up, and we're gonna get through all this. Look at the times we've had before in the history, and always managed to pull through it. And life and liberty always prevail.
Absolutely.
And don't forget about that cracked Liberty Bell. All right.
By God,
it's still there.
Certainly is. So, anyway, guys, that does it for us here on this week's edition of Pops Takes. Please remember, tune in. Head over to Spreaker.com here in about 15 minutes or so for another edition of the Hump Day Hangover with yours truly and Mr. EO Complaint. And this week we're joined in studio by Mr. High Tech. So it's a fun one. You're not going to want to miss out on that. So Anyhow, guys, we will talk to you all here later on. Have a great week, and I will talk to you guys here tonight and Friday. Have a good one. We gone. Bye-bye.